Oh, hello.
What are we on now?
I believe we might be.
Oh, really? Well, I'm typing now.
That's fine. Type away.
Oh, hang on.
We have no need for pretense or professionalism here.
Yeah. I'm like a little off-centered a little bit. Hang on, let me see if I can fix it.
Right.
I'm making a tweet. You gotta let me know if I'm too quiet, because Trav was saying that I was really quiet and I need to turn it up here if so. So let me know if I'm real quiet.
I wanted to have kind of a greenish and reddish, like Christmassy effect going on. But it's not really coming across that way with my lighting. It's mostly just the red. We'll suffice with the red. So yeah, sorry about that. I was working on our script for, the video that we'll release 1 week from tomorrow. That's about you know what, wink. And yeah, and I guess time got away from me, and then we had technical problems. Aside from the typing, we're gonna want to get some. Yeah, I know I'm blurry. That's just the way this webcam is positioned just far enough away from me that see, it gets sharper. Like it's just far enough away from me where I'm just like sitting just a little beyond where it can focus. That's just the way things are. I can't do any better right now in this setup.
I see that people are talking about my shelves back here. I had a a whiteboard. I used to have one back here, but now I got a little section of wall control from on Black Friday.
Well, I see your little magnetic LED is sticking to it.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of cool, right? It's a fun idea.
So how are Coury's levels? We were really struggling to get his levels right, and we don't really know why. And his levels still look a little weird to me in OBS, but curious what y'all think.
Yeah, you gotta let me know if I'm too quiet. I can crank it up here if I need to.
Sounds good. I mean, could it be better? Could Coury sound better? Sounds fine to you. This isn't the same mic that you use for your voiceover, though. So settings that we change here don't affect your voiceover.
Yeah. I mean, I could use that microphone. It's like right here, but it'd be like in front of my face the whole time.
I mean, I don't care. Why don't you try it? Just out of curiosity.
Okay.
Although Eric Raymond says sound cannot be better.
Okay, then I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to mess with it.
All right, if the sound sucks, it's Eric Raymond's fault. Although it sounds like Paul Bergkamp may have wanted the sexy Coury mic.
I know. Well, maybe I'll bring it down. I mean, we can see.
Let's just see. We're curious.
I mean, is this any better?
Oh, that sounds amazing.
It's not. Is it loud, or is it just?
It's peaking about the same, but it sounds better.
Yeah.
What does the chat think? It sounds better to me.
It blocks my face though. Indeed, it does. I mean, I can be back here. I can put it like down here.
Clearer, but not louder. Let me raise you in OBS 1 second.
Okay. Everyone's saying it sounded good, but I don't know. Like maybe I'll use this for a minute and then not. Like we are way out of sorts, I guess, at the beginning of this week.
Oh.
Was that it? talk? You want me to talk now? I see my levels going up and down. So you have me like way up there now. You want me that? You want me that loud?
When I raise you in OBS, it doesn't, like, you're still just peaking at like minus 14 or so.
So it's got to be. Maybe it's just like something weird happening with OBS. Like it's not adjusting it for some reason.
I don't know, but it's up all the way.
Okay. Okay, well, I mean, I can use this and maybe I'll switch back and forth. I don't know.
Do not know. All right. But anyway, you know what I beat the other day?
What did you beat the other day?
I beat Kaze and the Wild Masks, which I did not own at this time last week.
Yeah, so you really you liked it.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to play this right away.
Gonna get it.
I'm going to get it, and I'm going to play it right away. I just decided I was going to do that, you know?
Yeah.
You know, so I played it casually over 3 evenings, and I finished it. I mean, it's not a very long game at all. I mean, I could have finished it much shorter if I had the time.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was good. You know, it's you know, I would like to say, you know, if I talk about in the year-end video, I might repeat myself here. But, you know, I was thinking, you know, it's a closer study of the Donkey Kong Country gameplay than Retro Studios Donkey Kong games. It's certainly not perfect, though. I mean, definitely, you know, lower budget, some rough edges, some wonkiness here and there. You know,
yeah.
the art is okay, but not amazing or anything. But it's good. It's a pleasant little game. You know, you kind of feel the heart behind it. I looked into it a little bit. It's from a Brazilian studio. It sounded like they really put a lot of love into it. So that's pretty cool. But you know, the biggest difference I found, you know, you commented that it was, you wished that the helicopter move in the air was on the jump button and not the attack button.
Yeah.
And I understand why you thought that, even though, you know, it is on the attack button in this game with Dixie Kong. The difference is you don't have to hold the Y button to run in Kaze.
Oh,
so
okay,
what
yeah.
happens is in Donkey Kong Country, if you're running and you jump with Dixie, she doesn't automatically propel her.
Right. And then also, you know, you only have to like double tap the button then. It's like you just take your finger off of it a little bit.
Right.
To start to helicopter and then also then to land and can continue running.
Right. So basically you don't want to be holding Y when you're jumping until you want to do the helicopter move. So that was the weird thing for me at first, was like, oh, I have to break myself from holding Y all the time because it doesn't do anything. So in some ways the controls are a little more streamlined because you only hit Y to roll and then Y to helicopter. You know, you don't have to hold it to run. But it you know, it did take a little bit of you know, breaking myself from holding Y all the time. But yeah, it was a solid, pleasant little thing. Not as good as Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair. Not as good as the Donkey Kong Country trilogy. Not as well made as Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, but more fun for me to play.
Yeah.
So today, I feel like kind of tired today for some reason, even though I like really haven't done that much today. And I have no reason.
We've been scripting.
Been scripted, but like I feel like the fear of this week has made me tired. Even though I have no reason to be tired. So I wanted to play something good and comfy today, but I decided I'm playing my Japanese cartridge of Super Donkey Kong 2 just because I've never played through this version, even though there shouldn't be anything different about it. Looks like someone got 87% at some point on this. That's not bad.
for the record, Super Donkey Kong Country Super Donkey Kong is a way better name than Donkey Kong
I
Country.
mean, I like it. I enjoy it, but I don't know. Donkey Kong Country is a pretty cool name. It's distinctive. You know, how many games have the word country in them? You know, I don't know. Look how the controller has the Super Famicom buttons on it.
Oh, that's cool.
Of course, I'm playing with my, engraved Nintendo, 1997 onwards Super Nintendo controller.
I got a kick out of Sean Quinn's message, or his thing in the comments or in the chat said, "I love how after 355 streams, they're still trying to get the sound and video right."
I mean, it's true. Like, nothing should change from week to week, and yet sometimes things happen.
Yeah. Zane's dad was asking which of the Nintendo Online controllers do we consider to be must-haves?
I mean, the Super Nintendo is the cheapest and the most versatile, for sure.
Yes, yeah.
But, I was surprised. You really came up with a lot of uses for the 3-button jizzes. I mean, you were clearly trying.
I'm going to say, I feel as though...
It was your mission.
Like the Genesis... Well, the Genesis 3-button was, surprisingly good for the things that it was... that I used it for.
Yeah.
So I kind of felt like... I feel as though the 3-button is more of a must-have than the 6-button, just because everything you can do with the 6-button you can do with the Super NES pad.
That's true. Yeah.
So I think that,
I mean, there's not like there's anything you can't.
Rage 4 I feel as though Streets of Rage 4 justifies the price of it.
It is. It is amazing. We're going to be playing that on the Backloggery stream in January, and I am so pumped to play that with a 3-button controller. It's going to be amazing.
But I have to thank everybody for watching the video. I mean, I was not sure how that runtime was going to go over. I think I was saying, I may have said it last week, that it's either going to be. It's going to do really well because of the runtime, or it's going to be a complete disaster. And it seems to be doing really good, which is, it's cool to have a video like that at this time of the year.
Yes. I
guess. And, when we had, last time we did a December controller video, it did really well. It's that third-party controllers video is our 5th highest viewed video. Yeah. It's the only video with over 500,000 that is not an RGB video.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And would you believe, I was thinking about this just a bit ago, December is going to be a 3-video month.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
How many years ago do you think it was we had 3 fully edited videos in a month?
I don't know. It's been a little while.
It's been a little while.
It's definitely been a little while. But I mean, this is good. I feel as though doing the controller video was kind of a big, breakthrough a wall for me, because I've been kind of struggling with writing and just
By the way, the water
the
water effect in this level is still amazing.
What's that?
The water effect in this level is still amazing.
Oh, the back, yeah.
Well, and then it's above, and then below. I can't go deep enough right here to really show it.
Mm-hmm.
There, it went with the water one. I don't know. It's still really good. Anyway.
But, I mean, I've just been having a hard time with, making videos. Writing them, just, getting up the, the excitement to make them. And it turns out having to come up with essentially like 60 ways to say the same thing, say the same thing over and over again is maybe the cure for that.
One of my favorite things was someone commented, how many times was the word button said in this video? And you obviously went to the document and searched, and you said,
yeah,
you said
308.
308 times.
But, you know, like, I'll be curious to see if, like, how many of the views on the video are people, like, you know, coming back after, you know, watching a certain amount of it and then taking a break and coming back. And that's good. I mean, I think you said, I'm curious to see what a new video that adopts, you know, like a length of, like, a marathon, what it would do.
I mean, it's not quite as long as a marathon, I don't think. But it's very similar. I mean, you know, people love to put those videos on in the background. So
there's $5 from Aaron Welsh saying, not that there's anything wrong with Try's camera, but this pre-rendered SNES game has better color and resolution. Just saying.
Well, I mean, you know, it's that Logitech 1080p camera that everyone uses.
Yeah.
But it's you know, it's just far enough away from my face that my lights are not in an optimal. I tried to create like a green and red, you know, Christmassy, December-y, sort of effect, but it didn't. It is not being interpreted that way by the camera. So sorry about that.
There's also $1 earlier from Yo-Yo Yoshio 267.
Oh, thank you.
Saying you can't do this to me. It's 1 a.m. in the UK.
Well, you know,
it's same time, same place.
Yeah, it made me think. I unfortunately didn't have time to really tune in for more than a second, but I saw that John and Audie were doing a stream the other day as well on the Evercade. Yeah.
Yep. I missed most of it. I saw like the last 20 minutes of it, I think. But I've been meaning to go back and watch the rest of it. There's also $5 Australian, I'm guessing, from Jay Russell's Retro Gaming channel.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Saying, here's an early Xmas donation for you guys. Merry Christmas.
Oh, Merry Christmas to you too.
This is my first SNES game I ever played when I got the SNES in 1996. Good nostalgia. Yeah. I mean, that's a pretty good game.
Yeah.
Your first SNES game.
I mean, you know, Donkey Kong Country 1 was, you know, among my first set of SNES games because I got it in 1994. You know, the next Christmas I got this, and I did not think I was going to be getting it because, you know, I had rented it. I can't remember if I beat it on the rental or not. I certainly didn't get like through all the Lost World or anything like that. But like, you know, I think my mom kind of had this, you know, attitude that for ultimately I don't think really stuck because I can't really think of a year where I like didn't get at least one video game. But like, I think she kind of, I remember she like, I had this attitude that I think was mostly born from just like, you know, the video game always overshadows all the other presents. So like she was not into like me getting a video game for Christmas. I mean, I can't help it that video games are that awesome, you know? I mean, they just are, you know? I bet she's not wrong. But, like, she kind of signaled that I was not going to be getting a video game for Christmas that year. And, you know, Christmas morning, I did not. And then, like, that evening, it was like, oh, look at this. There's a present under the tree I guess we didn't see this morning. There was Donkey Kong Country 2.
That's cool. I never played all the way through this game. Until I got it on the Wii Virtual Console.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it was like 1 year after the first one, and I just didn't feel like I needed to get it.
I mean, it's. Do you agree that it's the best one? I mean, it's.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely the best one.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely
like the best music.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the fan favorite, and with good reason.
You know, that is usually the case. I find is that it seems like the first sequel is always is usually the best one.
Yeah, I mean, this is a classic example of that. I mean, like you often say this. I mean, the first one, they were still like just trying to figure out and just make it work.
Yeah.
And then
they can really.
Once it's working, now that it works, like they can spend the time they need to make the second one just like everything they dreamed it could be. And then the third one, they're like kind of bored with it and try to do something weird and different with it.
Yeah, or they put a team that doesn't want to do it again on it.
Yeah. Or the original team moves away from it and they put their B team on it.
Yeah.
Which supposedly is what happened with Donkey Kong Country 3 because most of the hardcore, the A team was they wanted to go and work on N64 games and so but I still feel like even though Donkey Kong Country 2 has a somewhat different vibe, or excuse me, 3 has a bit of a different vibe, I think it is still consistent in quality with the other games. There are definitely ways that it's a bit different, but it's it still follows the same sort of level design philosophy and stuff like that overall. I would say.
I'm way behind on donations here. Let me get caught up here. There was $2 Canadian from Tom Green 99.
Thank you.
Saying I love the epic controller video. Thank you. I know it's probably not the real Tom Green, but I watched most of the Tom Green show that was on MTV, like when I was I guess I was probably in high school or maybe the beginning of college. And my favorite Tom Green show segment was the Undercutter's Pizza segment. Where if you haven't seen it, what he would do is he'd follow around like a pizza delivery driver, and when they're going to deliver the pizza, he would drive up next to him and then offer to sell them the same pizza for slightly less money, and like make it in front of them. And the guy, it's just as most Tom Green, I guess, like most of his I don't want to. They're not sketches really, but they're just reality segment episodes. It always ends up with him basically gonna get a beat down from whoever. He's annoying. But yeah, Undercutter's Pizza. I still remember it. So that's my absolute favorite one. Anyway.
Oh, first death.
Their Gaming Blows has been a member for 15 months in a row.
Wow. That's a
Thank
lot
you.
of months.
Saying, how many of these member milestone chats do I get? Anyway, happy Sunday. Anyone else feel like DKC peaked with 1, 2, and 3 didn't feel as tight? Well, I think a big part of it was that new character was stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, is this hot?
Yeah, this is your favorite level, isn't it?
I love the music on this, especially because it takes so long for it to get to the really good part.
Dying again.
And,
this level's killed me twice. Well,
I love the way the music builds up for so long.
There's a prior level that has the same music, but yeah, this is. This is, I think, the iconic level, the most iconic level with this music.
Yeah.
But it was, there were a few of the expected, like, I like, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is perfect comments, or like, you're absolutely insane, that kind of stuff. But there were maybe honestly more comments that were like, why am I just like totally doing so bad all of a sudden? There were more, maybe a few more comments, or at least I chose to observe more comments that were like, finally, someone who has the same opinion on the Retro Studios Donkey Kong games as I do.
Yeah. Thank you for saying what needed to be said. There was $5 from Eric Fox. Thank you. Saying, I really enjoyed Tropical Freeze Talk of the controller video. Any other games you tried hard to like, but just couldn't? Dragon Age Origins for me.
Ooh, that one took me 2 attempts. And even then, like, I didn't love it, but I appreciate it more. I actually finished Dragon Age 2 before I finished Dragon Age 1. Like, Dragon Age 2 is like definitely like considered a step down by the hardcore fans, but it's a more fun and approachable game.
Yeah.
So I ended up finishing it first, and I gave Origins another shot. And I liked it, but I definitely screwed up not choosing a mage, because like it's like the other classes are just like nowhere near as fun.
Yeah. For me, like, I'm not even sure. Like, it's something I have to like go and look at. Because I'm sure I have plenty of them. Like,
yeah,
games that a lot of people liked, and I just didn't.
Like, you know what I find a lot of times, like, when a game is just like, oh, this is or a movie or even a food, like it's love it or hate it. And I'm just like, yeah, I guess good. Like I just kind of find myself very neutral on a lot of things like that.
Yeah, I very rarely think of like stuff that I didn't like that people liked, but there's a lot of times where people like didn't like something that I liked it and I remember it.
Or like the people. I mean, but I'm talking like pineapple on pizza or whatever. It's just like It's like, oh, love it or hate it. And I'm just like, it's fine. But either people were arguing that it is the best pizza, or you should absolutely never put pineapple on pizza. And I'm just like, yeah, it's good. It's good. I do not frequently choose it, but it's good. but
yeah,
it's just I don't know. I'm very neutral on things like that often. I'm sure there's a lot of examples where it's like, oh, this game is so good, and I'm just like, yeah, it wasn't bad.
Well, I mean, like there's some games. Someone was just saying, have you ever tried to like force yourself through a game you didn't like to get your money's worth or to complete it? Mine was X-Men Arcade's Revenge. I know that I forced myself through games, and I think that was just so that I could just finish it, like in spite of not liking it. But I have gotten over doing that. I don't have time for that anymore. There was another $3 from Yo-Yo Yoshi.
Oh, thank you.
Saying, give John and Audie my apologies. Also, can we just appreciate how amazing the sound is in Donkey Kong Country? Legit thought the sound of the sea was rain outside of my window.
Yep.
The sample-based sound, right?
Yeah. Oh, whoops. You know, John, I stumbled across it not that long ago. It's on my phone somewhere. The music of this level. You know, John had recorded a conversation we had like a year or two ago, and then he like remixed it with the actual music when I was describing the music. Here, let me see. It's gotta. I'm pretty sure it's on my phone. I bet it's this. Let me mute the game audio on the stream. It's gotta be this, right? Yeah, here we go.
8x7 is not a real
And then someone sent me a voice to text 8x7 is not a real aspect ratio.
aspect ratio. What is wrong with you people? Sandy, get over here. Frame maester, frame maester, frame maester, frame maester, frame maester, frame maester.
I don't remember who said that or who made that. Hi, Sandy.
Oh, I have a comfy pants and shirt on. I got some.
But they aren't pajamas.
Jogger
I thought you were only going to be playing streaming in pajamas from now to then.
I basically am in pajamas. Basically. There was $5 from Mega X6. Thank you. Saying love the game. DKC2 and DKC have special memories for me when we lived in Georgia, and my brother, sister, and I would take turns playing these.
They have a built-in feature for that.
Oh, where you can take turns?
You know, there's dang it.
You can play 2 players. So one.
Right.
That's cool. I never played it like that.
Well, I mean, there's like 2-player cooperative and 2-player competitive.
Right. That's
So
pretty cool.
you can choose either one. I think the competitive mode has like the characters have like different colored clothes on or something.
That's pretty cool. There was $7.99 Australian from Vittori. Thank you. Saying 12:30 p.m. in Australia, eating KFC and watching Try play one of my favorite games of all time. It's a good day.
I didn't know they had KFC in Australia, although I shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
You know, I learned several years ago that Burger King in Australia is called something different. And I forget what it is off the top of my head. I think there was something already called Burger King in Australia.
I wonder if they probably didn't have Wild Rocks though.
Yeah.
Or is that Wendy's? They had the Wild.
It was Wendy's that had the Wild Rock. You know, you see these neckies, as they're called, the vultures. You know, they were a little bit smaller in their Donkey Kong Country 1 iteration. And for the longest time when I first played this game, I thought the bandana on their head in this version, it looked like their head was open and it was their brains. Do you see it?
On a CRT, you can totally see that.
Well, I mean, I am playing on CRT right now, but I'm playing on PVM. On RF, on that old crummy CRT I had back then.
Isn't that what happens in Hannibal? Like he takes off his head and it feeds him a piece of his own brain.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Whoops.
There was 5 pounds from InGen UK.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Saying, my friend at school told me that DKC2 made the SNES 24 bits and was way better than the Mega Drive 16 bits. What a trumpet. Well, DKC, when in Japan, they had 128-bit.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, you know what's amazing about the Donkey Kong Country games is, I bet a lot of people at the time like probably assumed like, oh, this probably has like a special chip in it, like
Yeah, well,
like Star
it's kind
Fox.
of amazing it doesn't.
Yeah, because it's, I mean, games like, Yoshi's Island, 2D game, like I guess people mostly thought of it for like the 3D games, but there was always stuff like the Mega Man X game, X2 and 3 had special chips, and Yoshi's.
It doesn't even feel like it's worth it.
Well, it has like the 3D sword,
Like the CX or something like that, CX3.
Yeah. But like, I mean, I think I bet a lot, just the average person who was casually aware of the fact that Super Nintendo games often had special expansion hardware, I bet they probably thought like, oh, this amazing game, Donkey Kong Country, must have some special hardware. It's not. It's all just good old-fashioned coding, by Rare. I mean, they, yes, there is the CGI pre-rendering component to it, but John's video that goes over Donkey Kong Country and has actual interviews with some of the people who made it there at Playtonic now. I mean, they were all just like really good, hardcore programmers. I mean, they pulled off really good tricks with the hardware. I mean, that's just the sorts of developers that they were. It wasn't just the pre-rendering that made the games look and play and just scroll so well.
There's also $5 Canadian from Proteus. Thank you. Saying, have either of you played Tetristar the Fighter for Famicom? I discovered it today and was really impressed by the backdrops of the NYC skyline. Didn't Game Dave do a video on that?
Tetris on the original Famicom?
Yeah.
I'm aware of Tetris Battle Gaiden for the Super Famicom.
It's called Tetristar.
Tetristar.
Yeah, Tetristar Tetristar the Fighter.
I've seen all of the Game Dave Famicorners, but I don't remember that one if he did do it. By the way, that boss, I think that's one of the harder bosses in the game, so I'm glad I didn't die on him.
Oh, look at it. Oh, it's like a... It's kind of like a third-person shooter type thing. It's kind of like a Space Harrier type thing. The ground looks really cool. It has a pretty blocky look, like it's been Mode 7 scaled up really, really far.
Huh.
It's pretty cool.
I do not recall. Yeah, Tetristar was making me think like Tetris.
Yeah, I can see the NYC skyline. It's pretty cool. Interesting. I felt like Game Dave did something on this, but I guess not. There was $5 from Eric Benoit. Thank you. Saying, after watching that odyssey of a video, I wouldn't have been surprised to see you using a keyboard and mouse. Amazing video. You mean just in terms of like that's all?
Or because we're so sick of controllers.
Yeah.
I mean, I went right.
Like that whole thing at the end where I was like, I'm gonna not do this for a while.
I mean, and yet I immediately went and played Kaze and the Wild Masks with a Super Nintendo controller.
Yeah. I mean, you finished your parts like way before me, and
that was why there was why I had time.
In like the like craziness, like the manic rushing that I was doing at the very end. It was very real.
Yeah, but it was funny. It was really funny.
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
And for the record, I did record Mighty Gunvolt Burst, but I was like, I can't do another one. I can't do another one of these.
Well, I mean, that's
So I use that as a way to,
that was a good way to like let people know that hey, here's another game that you might want to look into without actually doing it.
Yeah.
And someone
pause the game when it turns and it.
Yeah, I did it.
It's just like a single
white frame. Yep. But there was someone who left a comment of saying, "Oh, shame you didn't do My Gunvolt because you'd probably like that better than the talkie, regular Gunvolt games."
From what I played of it. There was 5 SGD, which I'm not sure exactly what SGD from Dread49. Thank you. Saying your stream started at 9 a.m. here in Singapore. The perfect way to start a day working from home.
Nice.
That's cool. It's I get like the thought of the stream happening at 9 a.m. It sounds actually kind of like nice at the same time as it like does not sound very nice.
Well, I remember when we were in Japan and we tuned into the Backloggery stream.
Yeah.
And like I think even chatted on the call for a little bit. It was like 9 a.m. It was definitely surreal. Time zones can still feel like kind of surreal, like especially when you're like so far away, like whoa, it's nighttime there, or vice versa.
Yeah. There's $3 from Jonathan Hinson. Thank you. Saying this past Friday, I sat on my couch, held my new grandson, and we watched our first MLiG episode together.
Oh.
What an amazing episode it was. Well, when you're trying to get a kid to go to sleep, like this, and you can't move for 2 hours. I've been joking about having this puppy. I don't know if I've said this on the stream before, but like with two small kids, 2 young kids, I have finally gotten to a place where my life is no longer about poop. And then now my life is all about poop again. And it's just when I thought I was away.
Well, but I thought your son especially like mostly talks about poop.
Well, he does, but I mean,
you don't have to deal with it.
I don't have to.
You just have to listen to it.
Well, no. I mean, I don't have to like see it. I don't have to see poop. So, just when I thought I'd escaped.
Do you have no responsibility with the cat's litter box?
Oh, I mean, I do, but it's like that is just like something that happens. Like I just like do it on garbage night, or just like if it's like too smelly. But at least she's not like pooping on the rug in the living room.
Well, hopefully you won't be dealing with that kind of thing for super long.
Yeah. Hopefully not.
Is she? Does she seem to be learning?
Yeah. And we've like had to leave her home a couple of times by herself, and we just kind of accept like she's probably gonna poop if we're gone for more than 2 hours.
Do you put her away when you're gone for a while?
We kind of give her like free reign of the living room. We have like a baby gate type thing that like prevents her from going anywhere else.
I mean, part of the reason for crates when they're very young is because they're like, well, I don't want to poop in this tiny space that's all the space I have right now. So they don't.
Well,
Sandy never... Well, I take that back.
Well,
she did...
So how old was Sandy when you got her?
2 months.
Okay, I mean, that's how...
It's the same. But see, I take that back though. Sandy did a couple of times in the first month or so. She did poop in her crate overnight, and there were like 2 consecutive mornings that I like. The first thing I had to do was give her a bath.
Yeah. Oh
But-
yeah. I mean, it's,
But she I mean, I don't know. I could have been diarrhea. I mean, it was really hard to tell if it was diarrhea or if she just like got all over her somehow.
yeah. Oh,
But
yeah,
it
I mean,
might
it's
have been diarrhea, in which case, like, I feel like, you know, like, barfing and diarrhea are like free passes. You can't really help it, you know.
Yeah.
Although Sandy, I mean, man, she had some diarrhea for like a week. Was it earlier? It was either last year or earlier this year. I think it was earlier this year. And she did nothing in the house. And I mean, she was not comfortable at all. You know, she was really fussing, and you know, we were at my parents' at the time that started actually, and you know, me and my dad were just like, we know you don't need to go, you just went, you know.
Yeah.
And she, you know, so we were like, you know, kind of ignoring her for a bit, and she was just like, oh. And man, bless her, she didn't do a thing. You know, once we figured out, you know, that, oh, she's not doing too good, you know, then, you know, we were more, you know, receptive to taking her out as she did it, which was, you know, one day it was probably 5 or 6 times that day, you know, and pretty close together, but she did nothing in the house. It's kind of amazing.
It's a very specific memory. It seems the kind of the kind of thing I would just like not think about ever again.
Well, I mean, it was this year. It was earlier this year. It was not that long ago. Shotgun says we may as well talk about Coury's boil again. You know, I've kind of got zit on my tailbone right now. I think that's all it's going to be though.
Oh, you're gonna on your tailbone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, you mean my cyst? Like I did have a boil. I have a dimple on my cheek right here, and apparently it's because I had a boil there when I was a kid, and it got lanced, and now I have a dimple. Anyways, there's $2 for Jonathan Hinson. Thank you, saying you guys hit a look at all these awesome games you should play on the Switch episode in a controllers episode. And there was a lot of people that really commented on that.
They're like, oh yeah, I'm not here for the controllers. I just wanted to see a bunch of cool games on Switch that I didn't know existed. And that was a big reason why I wanted to call it like 120 plus Switch games, because I thought like I was absolutely thinking that like a lot of people were just going to watch this because they're going to be like, I don't even know 120 Switch games, you know?
Yeah. And that's what's cool about it, is that it, you know, you see that runtime and it's like, oh god, it's so long. But the fact that it really moves so fast between stuff, I think makes it very digestible and fun.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, it was not a difficult video to edit.
No.
Outside of just...
I mean, I worked long hours on it only because I really wanted to get it done. Because...
Yeah, well, but also because, you know, it wasn't hard to edit, but there was a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
In it, you know? There was $1.99 from James Style. Thank you.
James Style, always love that name.
Saying, don't spend this all at once. And I'm going to say that I probably will. Not on purpose, though. And there was $50.
50 from Seffi!
From Seffi.
Thank you, Seffi. We always love it when you're
Thank
here
you.
in this stream. Thank you so much, Seffi.
says, been binge watching, been binge rewatching MLiG episodes lately, so I might as well throw out some appreciation. Well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
And, yeah, it's cool to to go back and see some of the old episodes, and that's why I
Is
think
it?
was one of the value I think of like the marathon stuff is that people might find that there's a lot of episodes in there that like maybe they had never seen because it was before they had started watching.
I mean, sometimes we just gotta get over our own embarrassment of the earlier episodes because
I mean,
a lot of people, most people would probably not be embarrassed by them in the way that we would be,
Yeah, I wouldn't say that I'm embarrassed by them, but I feel as though, they are pretty rough in comparison now. But I guess it's important not to be embarrassed by them. I mean, they were us doing the best that we could.
Yeah, I mean, I think when most people look at a video from 5-6 years ago, it's reasonable for them to assume like, oh, they're probably a lot better now. So, they can probably put it into some context like that.
We gotta be coming up on 200 episodes here pretty soon.
And we just passed this week 200,000 subscribers.
Yes, we did just pass 200,000 subscribers on Friday.
Sorry for no stream this time.
But we didn't want to screw up like in case of the video.
Yeah, well, that and I mean, busy working on the next episode.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of crazy, right?
It is. Wait, getting that got rid of the invincibility? Getting the monkey barrel?
Let me see how many episodes we have here. How many edited episodes?
This level was like so hard back in the day when I first played the game.
Oh, so check it out. We have 197 edited episodes.
Oh, wow. So that means the first episode of 2022 will be our 200th?
Yes. That's pretty cool, right?
That is pretty cool.
And I think we've decided like that. So that 200th episode is going to be the Mr. episode.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're absolutely right because we decided like, we had to do this. I kept struggling to make headway on Analog Frontiers Part 1, and we decided, okay, Analog Frontiers Part 1, of course we weren't even calling it Analog Frontiers at that time. We said, the first episode of the documentary series is going to be the first episode of 2020, no matter what. Like, that is it. That you aren't doing another episode till that's done. And I guess we kind of decided we're taking the same approach with the Mr. episode. Like, it's getting done.
Yeah, it's going to be like an all hands on deck type thing. Like, I was kind of previously just like kind of doing it by myself. And then we decided like, okay, so it just needs to have both of us and just, give it everything and make something awesome. I mean, I have like 10 like 10 minutes of it is like done.
Oh, really? Like totally edited?
Yeah. Anyway, there was $5 from Kelly saying, my toddler is asking, where's Puppy? Sandy and the new pup have a major fan club in our house.
Here's Puffy. Or not
Nelly
technically
will
a
definitely
puppy.
make an appearance, I'm sure, like after the kids have gone to sleep.
Here's Puppy. She's being lazy. Being a lazy butt.
She was the main draw of that secret ending skit.
It's Sandy.
Yeah.
How many people watched all the way through to see the ending skit? How many people skipped ahead to see the ending skit and didn't actually watch the whole episode?
well, Nelly will come down after the kids go to sleep. Or after they are asleep. They're trying to go to sleep now, I'm sure. Clay Hicks has been a member for 23 months in a row.
Whoa.
Dang. Asking a random question, but any suggestions for games that 3 to 4-year-olds could play? Mario is a little too hard for them. Ooh, so that's a really tough one.
Well, your kids didn't really take to games at that age, I don't think, right?
Well, even now, I think that they have a really hard time with it. I mean, they just play Roblox or Minecraft, and 3 to 4 is that's just a really tough time. And the thing is that there's got to be something they can't die in, or it's just moving around, because there's going to be no real what's the best word for it? There's just going to be no progress in these games. And I see that Ninja Co-Star is saying Tetris, and
funny you say that.
It's funny you say that, because I had this idea recently. My kids play a lot of Roblox and stuff, and I had this idea of I'm just gonna order I don't have Tetris DX. So I got Tetris DX for the Game Boy Color, and I said I'm just gonna give a Game Boy Color with just the Tetris cartridge in it, and give it to I was saying I'm gonna give it to my daughter and see if just see how she deals with it, if she likes it or if she understands it. Anyways,
no context, no instructions.
Yeah, I'm just saying because I feel as though you're playing Tetris and you understand that what you're doing, and your natural instinct is to want to fill in the gaps. And my daughter didn't get it at all. She was just it's just it just goes to the top. And I was kind of shocked at first, and then later on, after I was kind of she was just didn't want to play it, I tried giving it to my son who's 6, and he immediately got into it, and he was can I keep this in my room? So,
and what was the answer to that question?
Yeah, I was oh yeah, that's fine. And I was he was playing a game each morning. The day after, I remember him coming down for school, slowly coming down the stairs, playing as he was walking down the stairs. So he took right to it and was way into it.
And he didn't care that it didn't have a light. Or
it was the one with the McWill screen in it.
Oh, okay.
So
it's not a true, hard knocks experience.
But that's enough. I think it doesn't have to be that's just out of convenience. But I mean, he was playing it every morning and every day after school.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Although today he wasn't I don't know how it came up, but randomly the other day we were in the car and he was like, "Dad, what's your favorite airplane?" And and that's actually that's an easy question. I immediately had an answer to that, and the answer to that is
the Vic Viper.
What?
The Vic Viper.
No, that's a spaceship.
I know.
A real airplane. It's an
kidding.
F-14 Tomcat. Easily. It's the best. F-14 Tomcat is the best. That's the afterburner plane.
Yeah. I wouldn't have an answer to that because I couldn't have. I mean, when I hear you say that, I know exactly what you're talking about. But
yeah,
I couldn't have. I couldn't have named a plane off the top of my head. I know that the plane that they have you on by default in Microsoft Flight Simulator is a Cessna. I don't know what model though.
But he was have you ever like flown one or flown in one? No. But then we just like started talking. And he's like, "Do you have any games with one of those planes in it, with your favorite plane in it?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, we can play some Afterburner." So I set up Afterburner Climax for him yesterday, and he was way into it.
Yeah.
Way into it. But I have all the EX options unlocked, so I could just like put it on. I could just like make him invincible. And at first he's just playing, and he's like, I'm trying to like dodge all these planes, and I'm like, you're supposed to destroy everything. Like that is your only goal, is to like destroy everything. And then he just like went crazy.
I remember being pretty confused on how to beat this boss at first, because I don't think you can hit him from the front, but I mean, it's, the hitbox is, I don't think you can hit like him straight on the front. I forget exactly. I remember, I feel like when I got to this boss, when I was renting the game, I feel like, phew, that was lucky. I feel like we had some sort of, I remember getting to the boss, and then I think we had some sort of like holiday function to go to or something. I remember having to go to a, well, actually, you know what? This might have been the next year, because I think we played a mixture of N64 and Super Nintendo. I think it was '96. The Super Bowl, the only Super Bowl party I've ever been to in my life. Me and some friends just went upstairs and played Donkey Kong Country 2, Super Mario 64, and Star Wars Shadows of the Empire on a little 13-inch black and white TV in our friend's room. And man, I was just like, wow, we could just sit upstairs and play video games and go downstairs and get amazing food anytime we want. This is great.
There's no better time in life
than
that very moment.
It was pretty good, but never went to a Super Bowl party again though. To my recollection, anyway.
There was $15 Canadian from FNP. Thank you.
Thank you.
Asking, so what do you guys consider retro? What should be considered classic gaming?
I mean,
it is such a
I definitely think there's an argument for like Xbox 360, PS3, Wii at this point, but for the purposes of Analog Frontiers, I sort of made a
pre-HD, right?
Pre or before. I mean, and I guess technically the Xbox 360 should be included in this, but like systems that only have analog output,
yeah,
is kind of what how I considered it.
Right, and I think that's going to change from person to person. I think it really just depends on what you grew up with.
Because for me, like, I've even got those systems separated in my setup. I'm playing in my retro room right now because I'm playing on the Super Nintendo. So, but everything in the retro room is an analog hookup. So, that's kind of a cut off of sorts to me, but it's not like the term I've gravitated toward using is, which I think you said in your comment, is just classic gaming. Classic gaming,
yeah.
Not retro gaming. Vintage gaming is maybe a little weird for some people. Classic gaming, and a classic is what you yourself think is a classic. I mean, it's going to vary from generation to generation. What's interesting? I thought about this a little before, but I haven't really put a lot of thought into it, I guess. Oh, by the way, while I'm here, I just have to interject. There is a mask. I don't think you got to it. A mask in Kaze that is a dragon, and you just auto run and jump, and you can also like dash downwards. But aside from the dash downwards, like it's obviously meant to be the minecart equivalent.
Yeah.
Because the levels are very hilly and up and down and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's even later in this game there is a level. Oh no, I've broken my streak. I accidentally jumped into my first bonus barrel. There's even a level where you or actually a couple of levels actually where you're running from like a ghost, and later in this game is oh, did I screw it? I guess I was supposed to. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to kill all the enemies or I wasn't paying attention. I want to finish this game without gaining any bonus coins. So, anyway, there's like a ghost chasing you while you're riding on, you know, the roller coaster thing in this, and you know, same thing in. So I mean, it's interesting to see sort of like you might not thought of it at first, and then you realize like, oh, this is exactly like these levels from Donkey Kong Country. But anyway, what were we saying? Oh yeah, I was thinking about how like I remember like years and years ago, like kind of having this thought like as new games come out, like new games in classic series.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking like, you know, no one is going to think that any new entry in the series is better than the ones that they grew up with.
Right.
And that was just what I thought at the time. I thought, you know, no one, like whatever one you grew up with is going to be your favorite. But I think the fact of the matter is, though, I think there are still, like, even not just younger people, but probably people, you know, around our age too, that do just move on from generation to generation, think that old games, oh yeah, it's old. I don't want to go back to old stuff, you know. I do think that's, you know, like I think maybe that opinion. Sometimes I think like, is that feeling as universal as I kind of at the time thought it was? Like, there's no right or wrong answer to it, but like, what, you know, are there people who just like, you know, the newest one in the series is always their favorite?
Yeah,
because it's like
it's like people who play like every single Call of Duty.
Yeah, like it's the new one is the most technically advanced. You know, it's better. So like, but like it's, you know, I mean, you've got something like Breath of the Wild where like, I mean, it's really kind of almost a completely different experience than the older Zelda games, and I think there's a very valid argument to make that it's the best Zelda game, even though it's really quite different. It's very different, but even though it carries a lot of the spirit of what I think the oldest games were going for. But like, could I ever bring myself to really say like that is my number one favorite Zelda game? Like, could I? Like, I mean, you gotta remember, like, I kind of got into Zelda later. Like, I wasn't a kid. Like, I was like 13 when I got into Zelda, which is still basically a kid. But I was not really into Zelda when I was very young. Like, it was something that came much later for me. Like, would I ever say that, like, you know, like Link's Awakening, Majora's Mask, I mean, you know, like Ocarina of Time, like I've kind of gone back and forth on over the years. Like, just because like it set such a template for what came after, to the point where through no fault of its own, it kind of became a little old hat, because like, stuff like Twilight Princess kind of followed the formula to the point of like, okay, this is really good, but I've done this before,
Yeah.
And then revisiting Ocarina of Time is, great as it was and still is, like revisiting it just isn't
but one of the
as
great
exciting
things,
as it used to be.
I think that's probably like people feel that way when they revisit a game and stuff. You feel that way about Ocarina of Time because like you really know where everything is, and it's not like a challenging experience. It's a purely pleasurable experience.
Yeah, well, and, we were talking last week. I think it was last week that you were talking about this thought that you had, like, like if a game was short enough and I really enjoyed it, I should just like immediately play it again. Which, yeah, I mean, sounds pretty ambitious, but
I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna do that in the new year, I think.
I mean, but there is some
to like really get to like know it,
get to know the game. I mean, that there is absolutely something.
And then play through the story, and if I go fast, and then I'll like really take a lot more of it in.
Yeah. Well, I did not skip any cutscenes when I replayed Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. I kind of thought I might, but I didn't. Because the story segments of that.
I skipped them all.
But the story segments of that game.
An example of a game that we played through like right away.
Yeah, and that was. It was not. The story scenes in that game really though. I mean, they're not ultra long or anything. Like it's it's a very snappy, well-paced game.
Yeah. But I'm definitely going to do that. I'm going to make that a thing that I'm going to attempt to do. And then
yeah, I mean, I'm definitely tempted by the idea. Like, I feel like maybe the idea could perhaps use some refinement. Like, I don't know exactly what all your parameters. I mean, I guess part of your parameters has to be you feel like it for one. You liked it enough. You're like, that was awesome. Like if it was less than 10 hours, but it was like, well, it was okay. Or like. Yeah. Maybe you didn't love it until like near the very end, and then then you replay it, and then it's like suddenly even the beginning of the game is pretty awesome now that you get it.
Yeah, well, that's very much, I always talk about how that happened with Final Fantasy X for me, where I didn't really care about it until the very close to the end, and the ending of that game changed, made me do a complete 180 on the game. And then I ended up spending another 40 hours on it.
Like a new file?
No, just kind of going through everything and getting everything. But I do wish that I'd replayed it. But that's exactly what I'm going to do though. It's like if I liked the game, but I felt like I could should get more out of it, or that I would have perhaps there's a lot of stuff that I felt that I could get a lot more out of it. Normally I think that I would just say okay, so I'm gonna want to play this game. If I want to play it again someday, why I'm just gonna make that someday be right now.
Yeah.
What? And then see what happens. Because you were doing that. You did that. With Castlevania, where you played it every month. You played through it every month. Right.
Well, I didn't though, but that was the intent.
But almost. But you got to learn the game pretty good.
I got to learn the game pretty good, even in spite of that. And same with Ninja Gaiden 3.
Yeah. And I just think that's a cool thing to do.
I mean, I definitely think some sort of. I think incentivizing yourself, or not even necessarily incentivizing, but coming up with some sort of method of making you just spend more time replaying games and getting to know them so that they solidify in your memory, Yeah.
I
mean, because
There's so many games.
There's
that
so
I
many
played
games
one
that
time, and I can't tell you anything about them.
exactly.
Several months
Like
later.
even if they were good, like you're just like, gosh, like it's already fading, you know?
Yeah.
Like back when we were kids, like we remembered probably most things about most games we played.
Because we played them so many times.
And because we just, you know, it might have felt like we played a lot of games at the time, but we played a lot fewer because we just didn't have
Right. Oh, yeah,
that many
exactly.
games.
Exactly. You know, I think that the idea of like, oh, there's so many like good things to play, I just got to beat something, move on to the next thing, and I think that is like a very prevalent feel, and like I feel like that.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
I feel like that most of the time. So
Yeah,
most
it's
of
like,
the
okay,
time
I'm
I
gonna get
do
through- I'm
like
gonna get
finish a
through this
game
thing,
and,
like,
and
I'm
move
start
on.
something new tomorrow, and then by starting something new, you're like completely forgetting so much stuff about them. I mean, like you are very good at remembering stuff, but I feel like the capacity in my brain to remember like very specific things about most games now has like been lost or like filled up with like things that I need to do for my kids or something like that. Like that space is just occupied.
Yeah, I mean, I remember a lot of things. Sure, some things I remember surprise me, but like, you know, I definitely forget a lot. Like, you know, I sometimes just like, gosh, I do not remember this level at all, or I don't remember this character, or
Yeah.
you know, it used to be like, you know, it's like, oh, yeah, this scene's coming up next, you know, that kind of thing, you know, and,
Yeah.
and now it's just like.
But I think that if I
don't
play
know.
through something like more than once, just like one more time, that would really
Oh,
crystallize
yeah.
like the memories
Mhm.
of it, and I'd just be able to talk about that thing so much more.
Yeah.
I mean, I can make like a whole thing, right? Like, you know, like if I should make it a point to at the very least, like do like a video log review of a game after I played it twice, because I could probably talk a lot more about it. Like that's one thing I've talked about, like I've thought about a lot, is like how I want to get back to doing like the video logs like really bad that we used to do for like patrons and like, you know, like the bonus material stuff. I had a lot of fun doing that kind of thing, and I feel as though that made me like the best I'd ever been at just like talking about stuff without any kind of script. So like I want to bring those back, and I think that's like a good way to do it. Games we played twice in 2022.
Yeah.
I can be like, okay, so it's 2022. You know, there's 3 2s in that number.
You need to
I'm
play at
gonna
least
play
three games
I'm
twice.
gonna play at least 3 games 2 times.
Well, you know what? You did it you know, did you play Control twice or did you just platinum it from?
I platinumed. I didn't play all the way through
But
again.
is there anything
Although
you played twice
I would
this
probably
year
do like New Game Plus.
other than Ratchet and Clank?
I think that Control is gonna be like my favorite game of the year. Yeah. It was just so weird, and it was just like at a time that, you know, I just played at a time where it just like really clicked with me, I guess. And there's definitely moments in that game where it's like, like there's like this part annoyed me, or I'm just like getting killed or hit by something that's like off screen. I don't know like why that happened, but that's okay.
Ow.
So I think that's a good approach. You know, 3 games. I'm gonna play at least 3 games twice in a row.
That's
Even if it's like, oh, you're like gonna fall all the way down. Oh, okay.
I was dead.
Yeah, I know. It's just really funny watching them fall all that way. Gnaw Dog played through It Takes Two 3 times earlier this year.
Really?
That's going to be pretty high up on both of our lists as well.
Yeah.
Sean Quinn says he's been in the Hades. I remember him saying that, and we just both got the PS5 version. I need to get around to it. Oh, there's a couple of super chats that I missed. Well, there was 24 minutes ago. There was $2 from Kelly saying "puppy there." Thank you.
I did see that one.
She appreciates y'all. And there's
Thank you.
also Scotter 140 has been a member for 13 months in a row.
Impressive.
Saying, do you guys prefer Super Famicom or Super Nintendo controllers? I'm a big fan of the concave, convex button differences.
Same.
I like to have both.
Yeah.
Because like having that concave on the Y makes it really easy to hold down for like running and stuff.
Yeah, and two, like, I feel like a lot of, I mean, any Super Famicom controller I've used, like, has just been a little mushier. Like I've said, the one that I'm using right now is one of the later Super Nintendo controllers that just there's just a much more satisfying press to the buttons. I don't think it's just because it's comparatively newer. Certainly not because it. Certainly not because it's physically newer. Because I mean, you think about it, it's only like 3-4 years newer than my original Super Nintendo controllers. And just in terms of overall use, like, I don't know, I've been using this controller as my main controller for a long time, so it's hard to say which one I've actually used more overall. So I don't know, but yeah, I definitely prefer the North American style with the concave Y and X.
Yep. A lot of people were commenting, and this is true. It's saying the SNES buttons with Famicom colors.
That would be the best.
Yes, it does not get better than that.
But that said, I have absolutely nothing against the North American Super Nintendo design. I mean, a lot of people like really hate it.
Yeah.
And I have nothing against it at all. I mean, I think it's
right.
really good.
I think it's fine too. I don't have any problems with it. It's not what I would choose if I had a choice.
But I like that we have top labels on the cartridges.
Yes, exactly. Yes. How about Super Famicom system with North American cartridges?
I mean,
I've thought about getting one of those plastic shells, system shells, the clear ones, and I think there is like a combination like that.
I mean, I like Super Famicom carts a lot. Obviously, I mean, I've got quite a collection of them, but I do think I like US cartridges better. I'm playing a Super Famicom cartridge right now, but I think I like the US ones a little bit better overall.
Yeah. Do you think that this game leans too heavily on the animal friends?
No, but the introduction of transforming into the animals was always a less fun aesthetically. Also, the light shafts in this is pretty amazing. Look at that. Look at that. But and Donkey Kong Country 3 probably has like 1 or 2 levels where you actually ride the animals. Like
Right.
Donkey Kong Country 3 is
and
the
that
one that goes
feels like
hard into it.
Kind of out of ideas. That feels like gimmick levels, like in Katamari.
Well, but at the same time, I mean, Donkey Kong Country 2 really was the one that started the gimmick levels. Like almost every, I mean, the first game has it to an extent as well, but like, I think that's okay. I have no problem with the whole gimmick level leanings of, this game or even Donkey Kong Country 3. I think they are totally fine. And I think, what I like about them is they do make, like, everything, is still using the same mechanics. Like what annoys me is when, like, a game throws something at you that's, like, completely out of line with the mechanics that you've learned up to this point in the game. The gimmicks in these games, are... You see what happens, you learn what the gimmick is at the beginning of the level, and it makes sense, and there's no real confusion about how you need to proceed. It all uses the mechanics you already know, which of course are very simple in Donkey Kong Country. So I have no problem with that, but just aesthetically, riding animals is more fun than transforming into the animals, I think. But that said, I understand why they did it, because they wanted to be able to design levels that you had to have the animal. Like, if you lose the animal, they can't design the level in such a way where you just outright have no way out other than killing yourself, Yes. Like, you transform into the animal so that you are assured that they can be assured while designing the level that they can do certain things. That's the reason for it. And so it makes sense why it was so prevalent in... whoops, I didn't mean to go in here. I still refuse... I'm not going to get the stars, because I do not... I'm going to beat this game without getting a single bonus coin. But yeah, I mean, it's... Riding the animals is more fun, but I get why... I get why they did it. But yeah, this level with the ghost that chases you, there is a level exactly like this when you wear that dragon mask in Kaze. And there's actually other levels where they use like the ghost that's chasing you, but it done a little bit differently.
It's got the green bandana on.
Yeah. Well, each of the ghosts in this level have a different colored bandana. And each section is a little different. Like, for example, this section has all minus barrels, so you
gotta avoid all.
You don't have to avoid all of them, but he'll catch up to you more easily. So some of them, use a mixture. That one's only ones to avoid. Do you like? Up until working on this latest episode, have you ever really said out loud as often as you now have, like, plus and minus buttons instead of just calling them start and select?
I call them start and select almost all the way through the video.
I thought...
Like, I know that they're not. Like, that's not, like, the real name, but that's what they're always
Did you? Because I thought you definitely said plus and minus sometimes.
Well...
I've heard you say...
Like,
I've heard...
it's not like anything. I was just thinking about it earlier today, like as we were working on this script about the old, the analog pocket.
Yeah.
Like there's no button label.
There aren't, yeah.
So I mean, like what makes them X and Y and A and B?
I don't...
Nothing. But,
Yeah, but, I guess, like, really like starting with the Wii even. Like they were no longer considered start and select, and like, but I never felt like start and select died. Like what killed start and select was Sony and Microsoft, especially Sony.
Yeah.
Because because Sony still had start and select on PS3, but then Microsoft had already killed it off. You know, with what isn't it forward and back on Xbox 360?
Yes. Is it forward and back?
I think I know it's back. I can't remember if they.
I know the select was back.
But I don't remember if they.
I think it might have been back on the original Xbox.
You know, you might be right actually. But on the original Xbox, I'm pretty sure it's start for the right button.
Well, either way, like I don't call them like, I mean, unless I want to change it up, but there'll always be start and select to me, not plus and minus. Like that's just the shape of the buttons. That's not what they are.
Well, Sephi, I mean, Sony is already, given your beloved share button, the boot. They now have the create button. I like that. That's just one of my favorite moments of just like completely stupid marketing speak was the DualSense reveal. The blog post on the PlayStation blog that was like, you may have noticed that the share button from the DualShock 4 is no longer here. But don't worry, in its place, we have the create button. It's like, dude, it's the same thing.
It's the exact same thing.
It's the same thing.
There's $5 from Mike Sherry.
Thank you.
Saying my Warrior 360 controller says start.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm sure my.
I wish I still had a wired 360 controller. I really regret that I don't.
I got one. I still use it for on the PC. Yeah, mine says starting back. My silver one here.
I tried to modify it. Like I had this really stupid idea that I was like going to like try to like swap in like a Super Nintendo D-pad into it at some point. And I tried to use sandpaper to like reshape like the plastic around the D-pad because I was like, I mean, it was completely idiotic.
Oh yeah.
But like I had this idea that like, oh, I think I can make this work. This is before like, I knew anything about people doing proper game mods. Like this was.
Yeah, I did the same thing where you had to take that sandpaper and.
Oh, but maybe it was a thing. Like I thought it was my own idea. Maybe it was a thing.
No. It was like a thing.
Okay.
Sure.
And I just totally wrecked it. Like it never worked out. Yeah. So. I have the parts of it. I never put it back together. I have the parts, but it's wrecked. I don't think you can easily get them anymore, honestly.
I see. Retrotech is in the chat. And it's good to see this game.
Yeah, it's always good to see this game.
And you're like, I just want something comfy.
Yeah, I was like, we're in for a tough week, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not.
I'm nervous. We
have all next weekend. We have next weekend too.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a possibility that we might not even be streaming, or one of us might be missing from the stream next week because of like trying to get the video wrapped up. Like I'm nervous. I'm nervous.
You know what though? I don't think that if we just like do, like work like normal hours during the day and do it like every single day and don't get like caught up in other stuff, I think that we're gonna be completely fine.
I'll feel less nervous once the script is locked down, but I'm glad that we've kind of got a section that's basically ready for you to voice and start editing.
I'm gonna do that tomorrow. Like, I'm gonna have you like kind of look over like the changes that I made.
Are you done making changes? Do you want me to look at after the stream?
Basically, yes. I mean, after the stream, I would like it if you took a look at it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's for the pocket that we're doing.
Yup. We know things that you do not. But you'll know all those things next Monday. I mean, we know things in the sense of our eyes have seen, you know.
Sean Quinn's like trying to get you to like get very passionate about something. It's like, how do you feel about daylight saving time? You probably feel strongly on that, right?
You know what? I don't. This is exactly what I was saying. You know, things that a lot of people are all like super, you know, like, you know, you either love it or you hate it. Of course, I don't know if does anyone love daylight savings time? Probably not.
No, I don't like.
I doubt there is a farmer in the world. Like, I mean, like that's what it started with, right? It's like traditionally like a farming related thing.
Yes.
And like, I doubt there is a farmer in the modern world who would like be, you know, literally raising their pitchforks over daylight savings going away. Like I don't think it. Maybe the world is an exaggeration, but at least in you know, North America, probably no one cares. I mean, but you know, I say this as a not farmer who, you know, does not keep up with the current affairs of farming. But I mean, you know, it's hard to imagine anyone being against not having it. But like, again, I'm just like, you know, I mean, I'm just a roll with the punches kind of guy, right? You know, it's just like, well, gotta deal with it, so.
Yeah, it's just the way it is. I mean,
it's just the way it is.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, like I feel as though it is definitely more challenging, like with children, because like they can't adjust to it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I definitely struggle to adjust sometimes. You know, I was actually really looking forward to it this year because it was Saturday night when we were at Retro World this year. And I barely slept the previous night. And I was like, oh man, I am so looking forward to that extra hour of sleep. And I barely slept that night too. It did me no good.
And we've not seen enough movies about messing with time and how much that sucks. Yes. Yes. Speaking of watching stuff, I watched that live action Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
On Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
On Netflix, and I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen the original.
It's been a long time since I've seen it.
I mean, I'm familiar with the opening theme. That's very famous.
Come on.
Oh, is this?
Here we go.
Is this pupper time?
Yeah, man, she is. She's real excited.
Hold her up a little more. We're kind of zoomed in here. Here, let me bring us dual cam for a little bit here, just so we get Big Puppy. Sandy, look! Sandy, look! 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 Come up here, look right there. Oh, look at the puppy. You see it? You see it? You see the puppy? Look.
There she is. Hi. It's good to see you. Oh, hi there. You want to say hi? You were asleep, I think, last week. You just wanted to go to sleep. You gonna hang out for a little bit? You can hang out. There is like the best feeling though is like when you lay down and she just kind of like starts like licking my face and head. She goes so crazy and her tail is like a helicopter. I know her face because you know it's hard to see it, especially with the lighting. I can maybe do this. Let's see if this helps. Maybe this will help. I'm kind of see a little bit. Can't really. I turn it a certain way. I don't know. It doesn't really work. It's not working out.
I saw Sean Quinn ask how I felt about button fastener
Button
jeans.
fly jeans.
Is this jeans where instead of a zipper you have?
Yeah, that was big in the like early '90s. I want to say.
I can't recall. What
Satan's fastener.
I mean, I don't have strong feelings, but what I don't like are pants where
real pants.
Huh?
A real pants. Like my wife calls them after like being in like comfy pants working from home most of the time. She calls them hard pants.
Hard pants. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Hard pants. What I don't really like are pants where, like, I've got some like dress pants that are like, the button is like, whoops, the button's like inside. Like you button it, and then there's like a metal latch that actually holds them together. You know what
Yeah.
Are you familiar with what I'm talking about?
Slightly.
Well, I mean, the problem with that is sometimes, I don't know, maybe I do not have occasion to, wear dress pants terribly frequently, but maybe like, I don't know, 20% of the time that I wear those pants, like, I don't fasten my fly. I don't zip my fly. And the reason is because putting on, fastening pants is a two-step process, right? You button the button and you zip the fly. But like putting on pants where it's got a button and a metal fastener and a zipper fly, like that's a three-step process. So like by the time I've done 2 steps, button, metal fastener, I'm done. I've done my 2 steps of securing pants.
Yeah.
And the fly about 20% of the time just gets left out.
You want to go get mommy? She's going to sleep now. She's over there. She comes. She's gonna lay down in those blankets. She's on a toy. She's like going to sleep.
As she tried to see if Sophia cares to play anymore, or
like many times. Many times, and
the answer is always
still hasn't happened. She's not quite sure about it. And
is the answer always hiss?
At first, she just like tolerates it, and then after a little while, she'll get that. Sophia will start doing that growl where she's like starting to get annoyed, like really annoyed, and it starts to get kind of a gravelly sound to it. And she really doesn't. She's really saying no then.
And does Nellie understand that?
No. No, definitely not.
I
She's
mean,
just like it's trying to lure her into it. There was $5 from Steffi again.
Oh, thank you.
Saying what kind of breed is Coury's puppy, and she is a Shih Tzu. and she went and got her vaccination shots last week, and we thought, oh, for sure, like, she was 1.9 pounds the first time we took her to the vet, and then the second time we thought, like, oh, she's probably gonna be like 3 or 4, and she's like 2.5 pounds.
Man, Sandy's first round of shots, at least the first round of shots that I took her to. She had shots before I picked her up. Just really knocked her on her butt.
Yeah.
She was just exhausted for the rest of the day. She's actually kind of sensitive to shots in general. She kind of throws up sometimes.
Oh wow.
One of my cousin's dogs one time had to be rushed back to the vet because she got a puffy face.
Oh jeez.
After getting shot, so you do gotta watch them a little bit sometimes after they have shots. But Sadie threw up like 5 or 6 times one time.
There was $2 from Denver Schmessing. Thank you. Saying, can you guys play Mr. Bones? That game is weird.
You've played
I think
Mr.
I've played
Bones.
Mr. Bones, like never as like a headlining game, but I played Mr. Bones on stream.
If I had my is it a Rhea or a Phoebe that you sent me? Which ODE did you send me?
Oh, yeah, the Phoebe, yeah.
If I had ever gotten around to getting that set up, I could stream that because I was actually thinking about streaming Christmas nights.
Oh yeah. I was thinking that would be fun too.
But I thought, you know what, I don't want to. Normally, I feel like we play games that are on our backlogs, and tonight I was just like, I'm not in the backlog mood. I just want to play an old favorite tonight.
Yeah. There's also $4.99 from Sean Quinn saying, do you prefer cubed ice or crushed ice? Is crushed ice trying too hard to be special?
I don't like ice.
There's a special kind of crushed ice that has like this really amazing consistency. Like Pizza Hut used to have this really amazing crushed ice. I'm sure the people who know what I'm talking about. The people that know about it. Like Pizza Hut had like really good crushed ice, like a special kind. I don't know what it is about it that made it so good.
I just don't really care for ice because I don't even have my ice maker
It takes
hooked
up
up.
space for your drink.
Well, yeah, that it takes up space for your drink, and then over time it gets more watered down. You get more drink without ice.
Do you ever take so long to drink a drink that your ice melts? And if not, or if so, have you ever tried getting a Tervis cup?
I'm not real. Really, when I'm talking about it in that context, though, I'm talking more like a drink that you would have got from like fast food or something like that. Because in that case, well, maybe it does get a little watered down on the ride home, and two, you only get one shot of getting that drink when you're doing carry out. You can't go get a refill. So, like in a restaurant, full service restaurant where you've got, you're going to be getting refills like constantly, like ice is like whatever. But you know, for carry out, I prefer no ice because it's like, you know what? Like I'm paying for the drink, I'm not paying for the ice.
Yeah. Well. Anyways, really quick, back to the Cowboy Bebop. So it's been a long time since I've seen the anime. Like it's probably been like 18 plus years since I've like seen any of it. And like I didn't hate the live action. There was definitely parts where it was like, what are they even doing? And after it ended, like on Netflix, it like started playing like the original, and so I just started watching it. I ended up watching like 7 episodes in a row, and I was immediately like, this is so much better. but you know, like I don't know if it's even possible to have like done it right, or like done it. I don't know. Like it's such a weird thing, and like I'm not sure if I'm doubting that there's going to be a season 2 of it, and based on like the tease for season 2, like if there was a season 2, it seems like it'd be really obnoxious anyways. But like I guess as I was watching it, I didn't feel like I didn't actively dislike it. I thought it was like totally fine, but it has been a long time since I've seen those originals. Yeah, live action anime has ever been done right. I mean, I thought that the show intro, like the live action intro, was really good. I watched it like for every single episode. You know how you can like skip the intro and stuff like that. Like I watched the intro every single time. But I don't know. Like it was. It's like I like the people, except for like the guy who like the whole like everything with Vicious was like there's just something about him that he just seemed like I don't know how to describe it. Like he was just really really dumb. And somehow, I mean, I guess that's the whole thing. It's like they establish him as like having this backstory, like he's just impulsive, like an idiot kind of. But he came off like I just felt like his like white hair, just like this, the character did not like translate well to live action.
You know, the sprites on Dixie and Diddy in this level are like, you know, that blowing, flying, falling animation is like totally for this one level.
There was another $4.99 from Sean Quinn saying, "Okay, last one. Do you like the soft-feeling towels or rough-feeling ones? I feel soft ones don't absorb enough and pill. I think rough is superior."
I mean, like, when it comes to, like, washcloths, I think I kind of like rougher washcloths better than ultra soft and silky washcloths. You know, because you kind of feel like the rougher ones are getting the grunge off, you know? Mm-hmm. When it comes to towels, though, like, rough is okay, but I want it to be like a thick rough that absorbs a lot of stuff. But soft can be fine for towels too. But I guess I probably like rougher-ish, especially washcloths. You know what just absolutely baffles me? The hand towels that I usually use, I mean, some of them aren't all that old. I feel like they kind of smell not that great after just like a day or two. You know, I mean, that's a slight exaggeration, but just a few days, you know, they only smell really fresh for just a couple days. And I recently got some of my grandma's old hand towels, and like they smelled fine for like a week and a half, and I can't figure it out. Like, what is the difference in these towels?
I don't know. They're towels from a time when people knew how to make towels.
I mean, I don't think they're that old, but I don't know.
There was $1.69 from Powder Keg saying, do you guys know if there's a pre-assembled, fully loaded with all cores Mister I can buy without having to mess with setting anything up with my PC? I think the Mister add-on sells a completely built one. I'm not sure if it has the SD card already put together, but probably. It's like, it's not that tough. It's like not that tough to do it like on your own.
And hopefully watch.
Sure Mr. Addons does sell a version that has like everything already put together.
I mean, watch the video that we're going to release. You know, first video of the year. It's going to be the Mr. video. You know, no matter what.
Yeah.
And
it's real quick.
And a big one of Coury's big missions is to show that like setting it up is not that difficult.
Yeah.
Is the intent that people could kind of use it as a sort of guide if they wanted to?
Well, to an extent, but you can't. I have no idea how long it will last in that respect. I mean, that's kind of the whole thing. Is that it changes so it could change so much, and things could become streamlined. I mean, who knows? Like, they could have a version that you can do like update all like right at the start, like without even having to do anything. There's another message in here that I scrolled up that I wanted to comment on. I do not see it here. Oh, talk about the Kenshin movies, and I watched the prequel one that came out and thought it was really good.
I have no idea what we're talking about.
Well, they're on Netflix. They're like anime movie, like live action anime movies, and I thought it was pretty good. But I've only watched that one. I didn't watch like the entire series for it. And I think that the like the prequels are the only ones that I really watched, like the prequel OVA or whatever it is of that. And that's why I felt that I wanted to watch this when I saw it. It's just too bad they didn't use the music from the anime like in the actual live action movie. So that was good music, I thought. There's $2 from a Space Robot Arm saying the DE10 Nano is out of stock. What do?
Oh no.
Well,
hopefully there might be some available when we actually get the Mr. video out.
Well, it's going to be available, but already like the price on it has like gone up by like $20 at least. It's $20 or $30. It was when we got ours, it was 150, and I think it's like 180 now.
Oof.
And that's just like across the board. Yeah, so there's actually a shortage of it. What I want to do is I just saw that what's that ITX case or the ITX or the mini ITX one that, like the Jamix one. It's like a different I/O board, but it fits inside like a mini ATX case, and it's like, so it's kind of looks more console-ish and would fit in like a setup a lot better, and all the wires go out the back. I'll admit that I've like definitely thought about it. I thought about getting it.
Well, if you end up with an extra mister you don't need at some point, I could definitely cover.
I would just buy
with
the
a
I/O
reason.
board and just like, or not the I/O.
Oh,
I would just buy
just
yeah, because I
convert.
use, you can use your existing D10 Nano with it.
No.
There's a $4.99 from Sean Quinn saying supply chain issues must be making you mad, right, Try? Why don't you tell us more about it? You know, it's funny. Like we were talking about the, you know, like our year-end video, and I think it's pretty safe to say that you to not expect a year-end video that is as long as last year's.
I hope not.
Yeah, well, for one, I definitely did not play enough games to go make something that long.
A lot of games. I feel like there are more games this year that we both played than last year.
Yes, for sure. But I just think that a lot of stuff I didn't play, and I think that for older games, I feel like everything that's been happening with prices and stuff like that, and the WADA stuff, and just everything being really hard to get has made me less enthused about certain things, and I probably played more modern games because of that.
Of course, you've got plenty of games already to play.
Exactly. But I think at least my part is not going to be as jam-packed.
I'm probably gonna have more. I mean, but you'll have I think, more capacity to talk longer about certain games, I think, than I do. Just because, you won't cover as many, so you can. But honestly, I mean, of course, I'll probably surprise myself, but the set of games that I have to look at right now. Here's the animal riding, pretty rare, but here it is. Not for long though.
Let's see.
Whoops. I don't know. There's a lot of games on my list, but a lot of them, I feel like I just want to talk about a little bit. I don't feel like I have that much to say about most of them, but I like having a mixture of that in these videos of the games that you feel I want to do a more full review of this game, or I just have one little thing that I think of when I thought of when I played this game that I just thought was worth saying,
Yeah. Paul Bergham says, "Hey, what's that one game behind you? You know the one I'm talking about." I don't know which one you're talking about, but I think that's a good opportunity to talk about. A friend of mine had he's I found these 2 NES games from when I was a kid, and they're complete in the box and everything like that. And he's like, you can have them. And it's nothing crazy.
Wait, what?
They are in immaculate condition.
Wait, games that you had as a kid?
No, games that a friend of mine had.
Oh, okay.
It's nothing crazy. It's just just Major League Baseball, LJN, and the Three Stooges.
The Three Stooges.
The Three Stooges, and they're
for what?
for the NES.
Oh.
I mean, they're just like,
But they're
like,
complete.
they literally have like everything in here. Like, look at the manual. Like, it even has like the little plastic bag that they were in. Like, they have the registration cards. It's crazy.
You know, I know you don't keep like hardware boxes as much as I do, but like,
I don't. Period.
but like it feels kind of silly, but like I tend to like, you know, the plastic stuff that's like inside the box, and like, you know, the main thing is inside, you know, like a little plastic wrapper or something. Like even though like, you know, I'm not doing it because of any like perceived value or anything, but I just like, I tend to like shove it back in the box.
Mm-hmm. That's fine though.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of silly though. Like, I mean, even if it's stuff like, you know, the Switch Online controllers, like, you know, the little like styrofoam in like thing that the controller itself is inside.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I just wad it up and stick it back in the box.
Well, those ones, yeah.
Yeah. Now you're actually keeping the Sega boxes, right?
Yeah, because they're
awesome.
Well, yeah, they're like kind of they're different than the other ones.
Yeah,
like
the N64 box is just like a box with a window. Like, I haven't.
Well, so were the NES and Super NES.
Yeah, I mean, I have not thrown away my N64 box yet because it's just like, should I? But like, I will because it's a garbage box. But the Mega Drive and Genesis boxes are amazing.
Yeah. Like my favorite bit in that video is me just saying like, how stupid is it that won't pay that money for the expansion, but I'll pay $50 for this controller
that has limited usefulness.
Like, it's not even something that I considered not doing.
Yeah, same. You know, it's like there was like, I think like like normal people would just be like, do I need this? No. And like for us, it's just like there's just
like you said the Genesis controller and the N64 controller are up for sale.
And you just bought them.
I just went and I just bought them both.
Well, you know, I think it was Shinjan that actually informed me. You know, we should have thanked him in the credits of the video. You were. I wasn't there. I wasn't there when you asked, like, oh, is there anyone we need to thank in the special thanks? I wasn't around when you asked that, so it was too late. But
no one really commented on my like little music listing.
Several people comment, and I didn't even know. Like, I haven't even gone. Like, someone linked to it.
Like the misspelling.
The Vidoe or whatever.
Yeah, the thing is that I wrote that all like stream of conscious, and I knew that was a misspelling, and I intentionally left it because I wanted it to be like I had basically gone crazy.
Oh, I like someone linked to the time code, and I didn't even see it. Like I didn't notice it when you know, you asked me to look through the video. I did not notice it. But you know what? It's kind of annoys me when people like have to like you know, point stuff out like that, because it's like, you know what, like,
why don't we just pull down the whole video and re-render it and just to fix that one?
Well, yeah, and too, like, I mean, obviously that is like so inconsequential that it wouldn't bother either of us, and apparently you did it on purpose anyway. But like, it annoys me that like people like want to point out something like that. It's like, do you like have any idea like how like You know, like how much that can gnaw at you sometimes. It's like if we already know about the problem, like don't need to point out and make us feel any worse, you know? It's like, but like with that, like that one is totally inconsequential, but like others might not be. And it's just like, well, there's nothing you can do about it, you know?
Yeah, it's done.
Like if YouTube would let you re-upload videos, that would be one thing.
Just sort of replace them, like Vimeo style.
Replace them, if they would let you replace them, but...
And that would be real interesting to do. I wonder how, if they fully allowed that to happen, like how that would change things.
Oh, you know, there's often things that, I mean, maybe not ultra often, but you know, we get facts wrong, and it's like, well, you know, sorry that my like, you know, it's always like, well, I really wish you'd done more research. It's like, well, sorry that everywhere I looked did not have this information. Sorry that everyone that I talked to did not have this information. I mean, what do you expect me to do?
Yeah.
You know, it's like I didn't luck into finding the one person who would have told me that. You know, so I mean, it gets annoying that you like, you know, it bothers, like, you know, sometimes, you know, you'll, you know, finish a video and you're so glad you've released it, and you know, sometimes sometimes I'll go pick up a special lunch, and I'll you know, read the first comments and while I'm eating lunch, you know, and you know, man, that ruins your lunch when you find out you've made some mistake. Like just immediately someone picks up on something that you thought you had right. You had fact checkers look at it. They thought, you know, they didn't jump out to them as being anything incorrect. And, you know, it's just it's depressing. It ruins your lunch. I mean, not to say that you shouldn't, you know, point that stuff out, but it's just so frustrating. There's nothing you can do about it, because if you take down you took down that PlayStation video for the, you know, the scaling error, because I mean, you know, it wasn't even an important video, but
right. Well, the thing is, like, I should have caught that for one thing, and like that video, like that marathon is not done good. But
I wonder if it was because of that.
You know, it very well could have been, but I've also thought about, like, I kind of realized the other day that it was labeled differently.
Oh, really?
The other ones are called My Life in Gaming Marathons, like in the title, and this one just said MLiG Marathon.
My Life in Gaming Marathon.
That's how the first three were.
It spells it out. Interesting.
Yes. And this one didn't. And
did you change it?
Yes, I changed it on Friday, I think.
Interesting.
Because so that it wouldn't show up. I mean, that's just like a word combination that people that didn't know wouldn't know, or might not like be able to search for that.
Well, yeah, and two, like, I mean, if you are searching YouTube for My Life in Gaming content, you're going to spell out My Life in Gaming, because
exactly.
Even though like casually you might call it MLiG, like, you know that generally our videos say My Life in Gaming on the on the title. So yeah, you're absolutely right. I never thought about that. Obviously you didn't either.
Sean Quinn had a $4.99 donation saying, what do you think about black licorice?
I saw Seffi egging him on for that one. I mean, it's bad. It's bad. I mean, it's something that I believe many people, if not most people, hold to be true. Do you hold it to be true?
I kind of like black licorice.
Oh, it's great. I mean, my dad loves it. I had, maybe up until less than a year ago, I had a pack of black licorice in my freezer that had like one or two pieces taken out, because it, you know, at times we have used it, you know, as a, you know, a punishment of sorts on Backloggery marathon streams, and you know, it's not good. But that time, the last time that we used a Black Licorice on marathon, which might have been the last marathon, it's been an unfortunate number of years since we've done a marathon on the Backloggery. But Drum and Lynn were actually kind of late getting here that day because they were having a hard time finding the Black Licorice at the store.
It just sold out, or it didn't exist?
They just could not find it for some reason. And so we decided to put it in the freezer so that situation wouldn't happen again. Oh, come on. So it was there for so long, and then it's just like, you know what? I'm going to throw this away. Oh, look, the controller in the background is Super Famicom here too.
Oh wow, and that's changed. That's the Super NES and the.
I'm pretty sure.
I mean, that's some serious effort.
I'm pretty sure it's a purple controller in this scene too. Of course, I mean, this is a British developed game, which, you know, they would have Super Famicom colors there, so it wouldn't be super surprising. But I mean, hey, assuming my battery works, we can check after I finish this battle. You know, I can't remember exactly what it was, but there was some combination. We had a Drum made a widget for a couple of he made them a couple of times. One time it was the Mean Meal Machine. that was the year we played Sonic 06. He made Dr. Robotnik's Mean Meal Machine, and it, you know, depending on various circumstances, it could be, you know, a certain number of food items would be combined. And, you know, one of them, of course, could be licorice. And whatever it was, whatever the combination was it was like three things, and licorice was one of them. And it was a bad combination of food. I don't remember what it was, but it was a bad combination. But I got the combination at first. And then I was like, you know what? Like, the licorice kind of comes back to save you at the end there. Like, it's so bad, and then you taste the licorice. And whatever else was so bad, like, kind of goes away. And then Drum got the exact same combination. He's like, you're right, the licorice saved me. It wasn't good, but it was better than everything else, and it started to overpower the other bad flavors.
There was $1 from Powder Keg saying, "What's your guys' games that you picked up when it was somewhat new, didn't like, but kept, and now is worth a lot?" Dark Wizard on the Sega CD, maybe. That's just like at a glance. I'd have to look over certain things.
I don't know how much I might have from. Well, I guess I've gotten Crim coins from being bosses, so I guess you can't beat the game with 0. What were you talking about?
Games that you.
Oh yeah.
When it was somewhat new.
I mean, you know, I went through a phase where I did some collection purges, so I don't know. I don't know if I have anything like that. I mean, I don't really get rid of anything anymore. Oh, you know what, maybe would be, I don't know what it costs right now, but I don't think it's too accessible, is Xenoblade Chronicles 2. That's probably the last game I've sold. It's probably the last game I've sold. and
Yeah.
I was just not feeling it at all. I played like 12 or 15 hours, and I was not feeling it.
Do you wish that you didn't sell it now?
I do, yeah.
I mean, is it hard to find now? I know that
I don't think it's cheap. I bet it's more than retail price.
Like the expansion that came out was expensive now, or is expensive.
Oh, is it? I don't know what the base game costs, but I think it's more than $60, but I'm not sure. Oh gosh, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 does look terrible and poor. I want to say that Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition also has a similar effect. I think it's toned down a bit, but even though it was a relatively low resolution Switch game, I thought Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition looked really clean.
I think Dark Wizard is worth it. Some money. Hang on. I'm pretty sure there was. Well, no, it's like $50. But no, this one's 100. 90, 99. Those are like newer listings though. I guess like the other ones that are like 35, 50, like 35 or 50 are like, that's what they start at. So that's probably not a good example.
Yeah, I'm still working on Octopath Traveler. I actually got back to it after finishing Kaze and the Wild Masks this weekend. I've now got half of everyone's chapter 4s done, and I'm almost done with someone else's chapter 4. So I just really want to get to chapter 5 because I'm really curious what that 5th chapter is going to be. So I've technically beaten the game, but I haven't marked it as beaten on my backloggery because I feel like it probably shouldn't be considered, because I definitely want to go for chapter 5. That and Panzer Paladin are the two games that I have unfinished, that I've started this year. They're unfinished, that I really want to finish before doing the year-end video.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm thinking about just restarting and playing through Panzer Paladin on tomorrow's backloggery stream.
There you go.
Because Drum and Lynn aren't going to be there, so I was thinking about doing that. Was Kazi good all the way through up like up there with DKC? Is not up there with DKC, by no means. It is nowhere near as good as the real DKC games, but it is a like I said earlier, a close study of them. It doesn't come together, in my opinion. Of course, again, this is what was I saying earlier in the stream, that no new game in a series, like it's so uncommon. It's very uncommon for a new game in a series to top the ones that you grew up with, right?
Yeah.
It's just, you grew up with it. It's hard to admit or accept, or that it could be any better. It's just hard, and maybe that's just me because I grew up with these games. But I've been thinking lately, Paper Mario and the Origami King, like I would have to replay Thousand Year Door to really be sure, but like it could be my favorite Paper Mario. But I was a little older when the Paper Mario games came out. Like, I wouldn't call those childhood games necessarily, because the first one came out like senior year of high school, and then the second one came out I was in college. So and the first Paper Mario, like I liked it, but I didn't. It was always like, but it's not a Squaresoft sequel. I wanted it to be a Squaresoft sequel, and it wasn't. it was always not Mario RPG 2 in my mind, you know? And so I had a hard time accepting it for what it was in some ways. But
Yeah.
I really came around to it with Thousand Year Door. Thousand Year Door was spectacular.
Yeah, I was the same way. Like I just thought that Paper Mario was okay, and I played that on a virtual console. But I really like Thousand Year Door.
Eric Schuessler says Paper Mario 64 is by far my favorite. It is a very, very widely loved game. I mean, I usually see nothing but love for it, and like I just thought it was okay. I've only played it the one time though, so I would be interested in playing through it again and seeing if I think. See, I see Q46 says I enjoyed Origami King, but Thousand Year Door is much more of an RPG, and to me, it's better for it. And that's possibly the big deciding factor, probably. I didn't necessarily think Origami King was better for its sort of puzzle-based battle system, but I wasn't annoyed by it. I did kind of feel like I would probably prefer a more traditional RPG battle system, but just like the overall scenario, and especially the music in Origami King, like really elevated it for me. Because like the music,
it was kind of like a big comeback.
It was a big comeback. I mean, it really was, course corrected the series. But the music has just stayed with me. Like it is one of my favorite soundtracks of the past many years. I mean, it is such a mind-blowingly good soundtrack. It's just got so much joy and energy in it. It makes you feel so good just listening to it.
So good.
It is so good. But I feel like those aspects have like really left a lasting impression on me. But I'll be curious, like revisiting Thousand Year Door. I remember a few pieces of music from Thousand Year Door, but not that much. But
mainly like the main town. That's what I remember.
Yeah, and I remember like there was Dupless, the ghost that you had to spell his name backwards.
Yeah.
And I remember. I remember that track. I remember liking that track a lot. Otherwise, I just don't remember. I don't remember a lot of the music, but like Origami King's soundtrack is just like, it's so good. It's so good.
Powder Keg was wondering if we're gonna we'll watch the Game Chasers movie, and I think we'll watch it. It's supposed to, I think January 20th or something like that is like the premiere for it.
Look, there were they just went away, but there were. I just noticed in Cranky's house, there's also some. Here, let me just go to him in some random place. There's also a Super Famicom controller, and looks like some, Japanese and European style Super Famicom cartridges on the floor back there. So let me grab my US cart and we'll compare.
Oh, there was this $5 from Face Lord earlier saying we need a My Life in Gaming members association. MLigma. Yes. That's exactly what we call it. There's also $5 from Adam Grubbs. Thank you. Saying, just got my first Dreamcast. Any suggestions? Skies of Arcadia for sure. I see Eric Fox said it, like typed it in exactly the same time as I did, as I said it out loud. Skies of Arcadia. I had an idea that I talked with John Lenneman a couple of years about doing like a video on games that were ported to other systems, but the Dreamcast version was still the best. And I feel that Skies of Arcadia is better on the Dreamcast.
I mean, that's not universally held.
The higher quality music.
That's definitely not a universally held opinion, though.
Right. Correct. But for me, I felt that the lower quality music was just was a killer for me.
Look,
it's
still
with a winky face. Thank you.
It's still European style cartridges, but the controller has purple buttons.
Oh. So that's easy then.
Yeah, well,
easier to fix.
Yeah.
Sonic Adventure is a lot better on Dreamcast.
I don't have that.
Mars Matrix is a good one. But I mean, there's certain ones that are so expensive though now. Let me look at what I got on the Dreamcast. Bangai-O is very good, but so many of these are expensive. Like a lot of people say that's the best version of Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Purple buttons. One of my favorite Dreamcast games, just because it is so weird.
Right. Yeah. You can just download all the games. You can just burn the CDRs. Without doing anything with the system now.
Is Ill Bleed, and that one's also quite expensive.
Yeah.
Sephi in the chat here is responsible for that.
Ill Bleed.
Yep, that is an interesting game. I like the thing. I feel like Dreamcast is such a quirky system, and so I like quirky games on the Dreamcast.
Yeah. Yeah, Power Stone 3 would be really cool. I didn't realize that Power Stone 1 is kind of up there now. I mean, Power Stone 2 I knew was always kind of expensive. I have that one. I kind of wish that I'd bought the first one.
I've thought about getting the Japanese version of Power Stone.
Yeah.
Because I think it's pretty cheap. I see there was...
bought a Ill Bleed for 18 cents. Still has a sticker on it.
Wow, 18 cents.
Yeah, that's I would never take that sticker off either.
I can't even believe what under the face of this sun is even priced for 18. Who would put a sticker for 18 cents on any video game?
Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
There's also $8 from Dot, who said, "Got my Retro Tank 5X Pro. Thanks for the tip, guys. SNES looks awesome."
It does.
Awesome. Thank you.
As you see on the stream right here, right now, through the Retro Tank 5X. Although I have not updated the firmware in a while. Although I doubt it would.
Oh man,
it would make
I bet you're way behind on that.
I don't know how far behind I am, but I doubt it would make a tangible difference on this stream. Well, I feel like I should spend a few minutes doing something else. While I'm on the
10 minutes.
Yeah, while I'm on the Super Nintendo. We shouldn't play ultra late tonight though, because we want to make script revisions so you can record your stuff in the morning.
Let me 5 a.m. wake time. It's so stupid. It's so stupid.
Actually, my SD2 SNES is right here. I could do something without going into the other room.
It was so stupid. As you know, I've been getting up at 5 a.m. Weekdays, and I literally woke up on Saturday morning at 5 a.m. At exactly 5 a.m. on the dot, and my alarm doesn't even go off on the weekends.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't have this fully loaded up. It's got the U.S. stuff on it, but what should I do? What should I do?
Going to translations.
I don't. Yeah, there's nothing really in there. I don't even know what that
can do some.
That's a GBA script. I mean, why don't I just?
Enhanced.
Huh?
Final Fantasy 5.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe just do a.
How about you just close your eyes and go in the S's and then press down a whole bunch of times with your eyes closed and pick something.
Okay. Here we go. I'm gonna go up a ways and down a ways. Do you think S is like the most oversaturated first letter in video game titles?
Maybe.
I was looking at some system. It might have been like PlayStation 4 or something where I was looking at it, I was like, I have less S games than I expected to have here. But I feel like S, I mean, and not just because of Super. All right.
And you've got to play this for 10 minutes.
Whatever it is.
Whatever it is, you got to play it for 10 minutes.
10 minutes. All right, here we go. What's it going to be?
Sports game.
Super Godzilla is a trademark of Toho.
Super Godzilla.
Have you ever played Super Godzilla?
No.
This music sounds like farts coming from my Super Nintendo here.
Ooh, that's my favorite kind of. Man, Godzilla! Look at those thighs on Godzilla.
Godzilla, stand by, okay? We are bringing him onto land at Osaka. Is this ever a thing in Godzilla movies, or is like, all right, we're bringing him in? like I thought Godzilla just kind of did his own thing, whether it was good or bad.
Yeah.
The rest is all up to you. Use your best technique to control Godzilla. Various enemies are lurking in the city. Move carefully. If you move Godzilla crashing
my mom
through...
calls him Gogzilla.
Gog?
G-O-G. Gogzilla.
That's why we have prepared points for energy resupply and other points in the city.
If you move Godzilla crashing through buildings.
This is the layout of the battle zone. It's a square. Oh. Whoa. What is...
The strategy?
I feel like I'm supposed to...
You're just going left and right.
I'm turning him. Oh no, he bumped into the building!
Are you trying to
is it is it tank controls? Oh, okay. It's not tank controls. Like when he's in intersection, I can just turn the direction that he's lumbering towards. This is weird.
Well, that's another good example of a game that I didn't like and is worth a bunch of money. Is the Godzilla PS4 game? I got that and I was like, oh, this is not that great, but I never got rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's worth a bunch of money.
You got it because it's a platinum game, isn't it?
No,
I thought it was platinum.
so that's definitely a game that's on that list.
This feels like a concept for NES. You know what I mean? Where they would try to have some, if they were trying to come up with some way to have a somewhat cinematic representation of Godzilla, with very simple limitations.
Yeah.
It's just like
It just seems like a really hard. Godzilla seems to be really hard for video games to get right. It's like the Monster Melee and like the two like PS2 era ones are considered to be pretty good. I have it on the GameCube.
I didn't know that the map scrolls. Why are the tanks shooting me? I mean, I thought I was on their side.
And I don't even understand what they were trying to achieve.
Yeah, this is
this game.
Really weird. Okay, I think I've reached the monster.
Let's go. Yeah, go for the red dot.
King Ghidorah is the first monster to fight? That's kind of intense.
That's strange. Is that Larry David right there? Looks kind of like him, right?
He sort of looks like he has a bulbous tip to his nose.
Yeah.
They're explaining all of this, like, how to play, but, like, don't tell me anything about buttons.
Like, it just seems... It's not a hard concept.
Well, you know, Dave reviewed that King Kong 2 game that looked kind of cool. I actually I bought it last year. It looks really good, actually. I like when I punch him, like it displays in the middle like fist, like this is the attack you used.
Here comes the finishing move. Oof. Oh man.
I'm not doing too hot here.
What were they thinking about? Like, what were they thinking?
I do not know, but this is not good. Yeah, that's right. King Kong 2 on Famicom is Konami. I don't know. I feel like I should pick another game.
Okay.
Pick another game. This is not more people.
Press. Okay.
Well, yeah.
Do LR select and press X, and you should be able to.
Yeah, I don't use my flashcards often enough to really remember that kind of stuff. All right, I'll go back in the S's. And I'm not going to go as deep down this time. So.
You almost played that for 10 minutes, though.
Yeah, I was probably close.
It's the longest 10 minutes of your life.
Something like that. Oh, Smash TV. I've never played this version of Smash TV. I've always been curious.
Okay.
In fact, I think I've only played the arcade version of Smash TV. I think this version is considered decent.
Yeah, I mean, you can use the 4 face buttons as like...
Yeah. I mean, considering the controller limitations, I believe this is the year is 1999.
Yeah.
Good luck. Oh, it even has the voice samples.
Yeah. Year 1999. Like, just thinking about like when 1999 was like the future.
this would work. This would actually work a lot better with like a Switch Joy-Con or something where the buttons are like closer together. But this is not bad.
No.
This is not bad at all. Bingo! It even has that. That's great. This is pretty. This is serviceable.
Like it's surprisingly violent for like this era.
Yeah.
I mean,
I wonder if
every enemy is just like turns like a bloody mist.
I wonder if you could connect. Can you connect like a Switch Pro controller or like a DualShock 4 or something like to the Super Nintendo adapter, the 8-bit-do like Bluetooth adapter? Like I wonder if you could set it up to where like A, B, X, Y are the right stick.
Probably.
Like that would be kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not bad at all. But talking about how this is pretty bloody for the time. You know what? Like I don't know if like this is a common feeling, but I can't remember where I first saw it. I saw recently some game that I think Limited Run might be a distributed game on Limited Run, but I think someone else is making it because I saw a trailer for it through some other distributor first, like from an email. I can't remember what it was called, but it's like sort of a NES looking action platformer of some kind. And but it was like, what is it called? It's like kind of it's got a maybe a bit of a Souls looking vibe to it. I mean, like really grotesque like creatures and stuff. And like, it's very bloody, like enemies, like, heads blow off. It's very gory. Like, I have absolutely no problem whatsoever with gore in video games. I am not squeamish about gore in video games or in movies, usually, at all. But like, it bothers me when I see like extreme gore in like a retro styled game, because it doesn't feel authentic to the era it's trying to replicate. Like, yes, there were gory games. There was this. There was Doom. It's fine when you're mimicking Doom or something. But like, there were platform. Like, okay, sure, you've got like the whole like Bionic Commando thing, but like,
yeah.
But still, like in general, like platformers were just not like gratuitously violent, like especially stuff that like is taking like an NES or like Master System or even like a Sega Genesis or Super Nintendo style. Like I don't know, I'm just not that into it when I see like that was like the reason that I was like, this game looks okay, but I don't know. Like that was the reason why
It's a deal breaker for you.
I was just like, like I don't know. Like, does anyone else feel that way? Like, it's just like, it doesn't, like, I don't understand why make games look inspired by an era that did not have that kind of violence. At least that kind of violence in that type of game. Like, I think it was maybe like something that looked like, Castlevania-ish inspired.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it doesn't feel like era appropriate violence to me. Like, I don't know. It's just, something weird about it. Yeah, there's Splatterhouse. You know, I actually came really close to buying the the Japanese TurboGrafx version of Splatterhouse this past week, and I think it's something I'm going to do soon. Like, you know, it's totally fine and like, you know, one-off games like that, but just like it feels dishonest to the trends of the time. Especially when when the aesthetic is more like NES, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know why I feel that way.
That one Breakout game that you like, the Strikey Sisters.
Yeah.
That's on sale right now for $2.99. I bought it.
Oh yeah, I actually have not bought that one. I should get it.
I'll tell you.
I just have the demo.
And a game that I lamented not having on Switch for the video is Curse Castilla.
Oh yeah.
And that was on sale for $5 today, and I was like, I'm just gonna get it. And like it has a forced border.
Oh no.
And like, so
where did you play that?
I have it on the I have the PS4 version, which just does not have a forced border.
Okay, I played it on Vita.
Version, like still the best version.
Huh, that's weird. I don't remember if the Vita version forces a border or not.
But well, the Vita version has like another quirk with it. I think that it has. Doesn't it have like 4 scan lines or something like that?
What game?
The Vita version.
You might be right. It might have four scan lines.
So in terms of Curse Castilla, like PS4 version remains like the best one. I was shocked, but I haven't played Strikey Sisters yet. You know, I kind of took your advice and just went on and like got some like a bunch of demos that I'm gonna try out.
Yeah. Oh, for
and
a
there's
stream.
just certain things like that, like there's like a crab battle or something like that, or lobster battle or something like that, crab fight. And you know, my son saw, he's like, "Oh, I want to play this."
Yeah,
that looks really good.
And did he?
And it's like in the video preview shows like one is like a lobster has a chainsaw. And it's only funny because they're like photorealistic looking lobsters.
Okay, the game that I was just talking about is Infernax.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's the one. I think Limited Run is doing that.
I don't know. I think they're distributing it. I don't know if it's actually a limited run game or not.
Oh, are they?
I don't think it's. I'm not positive though. Like it looks good, but it was just like. It was just like, you know, like it looks like it's trying to be like Castlevania 2-ish sort of game. And it's just like, you know, it looks fine. But it was just like the everything that surrounds it though it just didn't feel authentic enough to the era that it was trying to replicate. Now, if it was like a, you know, modern, high res art game or something, like it wouldn't bother me at all. I'd probably think it looked cool. But like trying to like force that kind of style into like NES-ish graphics, just like, I don't know, it feels dishonest to me. I don't know. I do have Carrion. I have Carrion. I've not played it, but like, to me, that looks, I mean, from what I've seen, it looks like it's going for a totally different sort of concept. Like, I don't, I guess it's not necessarily like a universal like truth with me either. It's not like, oh, I see, you know, gory, you know, 8-bit style game, you know, bleh, I'll pass on that. Like, it's not like, not always, but sometimes I guess it might even just be when the mood strikes me. I'm just like, it doesn't feel like it's a real NES game.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know they had someone made a physical of Crab Fight.
Oh, maybe you'll
I didn't know about it now.
Maybe you'll want to buy it. Man, I'm going to look it up again right now. Is there still not a physical of Jet Cave Adventure? Because there needs to be.
Adventure.
Jet Cave Adventure. That was one of the demos that I downloaded for that stream on the Backloggery last year, and I was like, oh, this is actually kind of good. It's actually kind of good. All right. Well, I guess that will do it for this week.
I think that's gonna do it for this week.
So if you see us next week at this time,
we're gonna be fine.
We will be. You will see us, and we will be victorious.
Yes.
There will be a video scheduled for publishing on Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern time.
That's the plan.
Oh, whew. Wish us luck. Wish us luck.
Thanks to everybody who donated tonight and for sticking around for the long haul.
Yeah.
And hope everyone has a good week.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.